Welcome back to the Brew Crew Podcast, everyone. This is episode 185, and I'm coming in hot. I got tons of thoughts. Primarily, I hate New York, but I'm starting to like New York, I think. Only because, okay, here's the thing. I don't like Yankees fans, and that has traditionally led me to hate the Yankees, but I'm actually kind of starting to like the Yankees. I'm not going to say it's not Anthony Rizzo, but it's definitely partially Anthony Rizzo. And Aaron Judge, I like the guy. What can I do? But I watched this comedian the other day. I'll get his name before the end of the podcast. Total New York accent. Usually I'm like, this guy's not funny. And it's the accent that kills it. This guy was funny. Told a 9/11 joke that was actually funny.
It wasn't like when Gilbert Gottfried told.
No.
Yeah, when like it was still
this guy was telling a story about like his experience. And if anyone's been around me on 9/11, you know that I don't want to hear about where you were on 9/11. Like, I just think that cliche sucks. I don't care. Like, we all were somewhere, unless you weren't born yet. So,
which we're running into a lot now.
I don't care. Yeah, we are. So I don't really care. But this guy's story was hilarious. And I liked it. So I realized on my drive over here that maybe I don't hate New York as much as I used to.
That's important.
It is important. So, we have some important news to talk about.
Yeah.
But before we do, let me just give a little bit of a little highlight here.
Yeah.
If you live near us, near Cincinnati, I don't really know where Hamilton is. I think it's by the river.
No, it's just north. It's right on the interstate. We have friends that live there, but just south of the flea markets.
South of the flea markets. Oh, okay. So
not quite, right on that
not quite by Kentucky, but
no. I'm pretty sure that the escape room and like the entertainment junction are technically either Liberty Way or Hamilton. But
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Gotcha. At the Pinball Garage.
Yeah.
You know about that place?
I saw your white.
Yeah. I wanted to bring this up, so I'm glad you saw it. I can't go because my son has actually 2 events that night: baseball game and his 6th grade. Like awards night or whatever the hell it's called. But the Pinball Garage will be hosting, I had to go off that page for the address. They're hosting a Toppling Goliath Tap Takeover, 6 drafts from Toppling Goliath. They're calling it Corned Beef and Goliath Pint Night. That sounds amazing. I love corned beef. I think it's one of the better beef dishes. When done right.
Yeah.
When done right. I mean, if you could fuck it up. But when corned beef is right, when it's on, it's fucking good.
I'm gonna cede to you when it comes to like meat that comes like in a broth like that because like your hot beef.
I'm a big broth meat guy.
Yeah. So,
I like soaked meats.
Yeah. Because like I would say like because my favorite food is like pho or like soups.
I don't get it.
But it's a little bit different because that's not like the significant piece of like. I mean, you get some tripe or you get some pork or a little bit of beef. That's like chips compared to like chipped meat compared to like the meat you're talking about.
I had pho for the first time 2 weeks ago, and I don't get it. But, like...
it's not good pho.
What do you call it? Slow cook, crock pot meats, pot roast, corned beef, things like that. I think that...
Italian beef?
They're so good. Italian beef, yeah, that's a good one.
You have to mention that.
You got to mention it. Chipped beef, it reminds me more of like a stroganoff kind of thing.
No, I'm saying like chipped because of the size. Because
it's small.
In like shit on a shingle or like pho, you're not gonna get
shingle.
You're not gonna get that's more of a gravy. But you're not gonna get like the au jus. But you're not gonna get like the large pieces. Like a $50 is probably the largest piece of meat that you're gonna get. In most phos.
Yeah. So corned beef and Goliath Pint Night. I think that's a great thing in Ohio, considering we're 3 states away from Iowa.
Oh yeah,
3 state borders, whatever.
Like going from east to west, traveling and seeing friends in Omaha. So my wife came up with the adage that Indiana's skinny. Illinois is voluptuous and Iowa's one big fat bitch. And then by the time, because Omaha is right on the border.
It is. That's true. One big fat bitch. Yeah, you don't meet a lot of people who have a lot of good things to say about driving through Iowa.
Yeah.
Once you get to Illinois, you might see a few things, but then in Indiana,
There's some
variants. Like the crossroads or something of America, the pass-through of America.
That's Indiana, the crossroads of America.
Yeah. Because no one stops there unless you have to pee. Or you're Larry Bird.
Yeah. What else? You're really on a roll.
Well, I had the Yankees thing. I had that. Oh yeah, one more thing.
Yeah, this is important.
This is important. This is probably the most important thing. Went out with Stev and his wife.
Yep.
With my family. Brought our dogs to nowhere. Our dog. Yep. One dog. To nowhere in particular. Cabinet of Curiosity. And had their food truck, which is called... I've just blanked on it, but I'll remember it.
That's two things that you owe the
I know. I'm going to get it right now. It's so good. Fat and Rich. Fat and Rich. This place was fucking good. And the guy, just awesome dude. Like, sometimes you meet a person, you're like, I want to help that person with their business.
Yeah.
And by providing buying their product.
You tip the shit out of them, too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Man, so good. So if you get a chance.
Fat and Rich.
Go to Fat and Rich. It's great.
Awesome.
And there's like 3 new beers that are coming this week, I think, at Nowhere in particular.
3 new beers.
Like
How many taps do they have?
They have 10, I think, but 1 and 2 weren't hooked up when we were there.
Are they? Is it all their own product, or do they it's all their own product? So
I didn't see. I don't think.
So it's not like our shade.
It's not like Dayton. Yeah, not DBC.
Yeah.
It's not like that, no.
Because I could see like Arche and the Gypsies at Norton in particular. Now not really Gypsies anymore, but started off being Gypsies.
Well, I don't know if they always had the window. Have you been there?
I have not been there.
So I don't remember the first time I went, but now there's a window that you could see into like the production room.
Yeah.
They have in-house production there now. Whereas I think when they opened, it was all Columbus.
Yeah, it's all Columbus.
So there's way more beer, and they brew beers that you can only get there.
That's the best, and that's a good gimmick. That's a good healthy gimmick that you want for make yourself a destination.
Yeah.
If it's only brewery exclusives or the atmosphere or some other gimmick, like make yourself definable.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's like
the
this,
physical location.
Yeah. This restaurant we went to. They had 5 pictures. I didn't bring it up last week. I'd be remiss. They had 5 pictures of Patrick Swayze from Roadhouse in the bathroom. Just randomly.
Just random pictures? That's
fucking awesome. Like
that's great.
And that's a gimmick. So like when I say gimmick, I use gimmick a lot. I would say that the counter boner segment's a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Bandana's a gimmick. Just feed into your gimmicks, man.
The website review.
And that's like
a good gimmick.
That's a jobber gimmick.
It's good because the websites.
I'll always be there.
The
you
websites.
Put somebody over.
Yeah, the websites. They either are just garbage or great.
Yep.
There's no in between.
I have one thing before we get to the beer because boy did it go down quick today. We lost a subscriber, JT.
I know.
I don't like talking business, but our street team needs to get out there. We need to pump them numbers up.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I don't care if we have. Oh yeah, there we go. I'll take one. We'll take 2 martinis every 5 minutes.
Yep.
And then I don't know what he says after that, but the way he does it is awesome. Fugazi, who gives a fuck, or whatever he says. And then that's obviously the best part. Anyway, I don't care if we have 60 or 60,000 subscribers. I will find you. And I will buy you a beer.
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
have
say
to
it's
subscribe though.
Yeah.
Hit subscribe.
Yeah. I'm just sad. I wish we could have known what we did to turn this person off.
I wish we knew what we had. I mean, I wish we could have catered more.
Yeah.
We try. Even, again, if we have 60,000, we're going to at least try to cater to the vast majority of the subscribers.
You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Let us know what you want.
Awesome.
You want more burps, less burps, more dick pics, less dick pics?
Yeah. I mean, Stev lets us know.
Oh, yeah, he lets us know. He's always in the comments telling us what he wants, what he doesn't want, what he wants us to dress like, look like, sound like. Now, I wanted to point out, if you unsubscribe because the sound on the video was bad, I did figure out how to level them out on the audio, so I apologize that I've tried several microphones. This is pre-production stuff, but if you're thinking about unsubscribing because the audio, believe us, we're talking about it.
Yeah.
We're having this conversation. We know. I know. It's my fault.
Message us. I mean, I'm getting to the point. And,
message us.
Message us. I'm getting to the point where I might start pimping a little bit more aggressively, putting it on my personal Facebook because, again, I don't know if we converted everyone from the original BCP to the new one. And then two, part of a couple of beer groups where I didn't put it in there for a while because I didn't want to be that guy. I have no problem being that guy now.
I think the reviews are going to help.
We put out a quality product.
We do.
Speaking of quality product, I'm elated for today.
Oh, yeah, this is unbelievable.
Because number 2 beer is blowing up. This brewery is blowing up, both in the local Dayton Beer Geeks and Craft Beer Geeks. But let's tip off with a strong number 1.
Wait, this one is... No, the next one's
number
blowing
2.
up?
The next one's blowing up.
Shit.
Both and I have a lot to talk about with that one. But we're leading off with a strong, probably 330 5-tool hit-off hitter.
Ooh, wow, 330.
330.
Who's that in 330 other than Tyler Ward?
Fantastic right now. Humble Forager. This is a double dry hopped honey oat cream, triple IPA, rings in at a 9%. I wrote to myself, we've done Humble Forager before, to write down the episodes that we did, but they're still on the computer. And Humble Forager out of Wanakee, Wisconsin. So let's go with the crack. Mine's not primed.
Nope. Son of a gun.
3, 2, 1. So the website review. So we've done this before, but it's a naturalist. If John Muir, do you know who John Muir is? Naturalist, turn of the century.
I've heard the name.
Conservationist.
Oh, okay. Was he the guy who shot Teddy Roosevelt?
He was not the guy. Him and this guy and Teddy Roosevelt, they would have been contemporaries and they would have been bros.
They probably would have liked each other. They invented the national parks
they would
together,
but they didn't. They would have done it. He was a guy that I studied because I was much more the physical geographer.
I've heard the name.
Anyways, a guy that took advantage of that. So if he Google John Muir, M-U-I-R, and you'll see, and if you go to the website, Humble Forager, you will see that it's all naturalist. It talks about like the process, but it does it from like a really, it's going to be overused, but organic sense. It's not dealing with bold colors or, selling strategies or whatever. It's just simplistic in how it gets back to the earth to create their product.
That's what Humble Forager is, or that's what the brewery is into?
And their website.
Oh, their website.
Everything melds together, and it's a departure from all these, it's not a Pipeworks, it's not Three Floyds, it's not a Toppling Goliath where it's in these loud and vibrant and eye-catching things. This is more like in your subtle, like Corporate Ladder, or what's the one from Chicago that we did where it was very muted?
Yeah, it was off color.
Off color, another one. Very much like that.
Yeah.
This is more like the organic, hippy-dippy John Muir type of brewery. Yeah. And you get that sense. They go into that a little bit more in paragraph form on their website.
We've talked about the name before, Humble Forager, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember what we landed on, but
and we've definitely had them on the pod before. So again, just outside of Madison, and think globally, forge locally, live humbly, drink adventurously.
That's awesome. Great motto.
These guys ride fixies.
They ride what?
Fixies.
What is that?
It's like a mountain bike, but it's only one speed. Like there's no gear changing. It was the in thing
one
like
speed
10 years
mountain
ago.
Bike.
Yeah, so you call them fixies.
Okay.
Fixed speed.
So what do you do when you get to a incline that's difficult?
Just complain about how challenging your life is.
Sucks. I can't pedal. It's literally physically I don't have the muscles to pedal, so I'm just gonna quit.
Yeah, you're wearing your Birkenstocks.
Yeah, but the gears get you up the hill.
Right. So you have a hammock at all times on your person.
That'd be great. I wish I had a hammock
or a slack line.
Yeah, you gotta have slack line. And what I'll discuss here is the the canteen cup.
Yeah,
hanging from your belt.
You know who isn't this guy? Stev. Stev is not this guy.
Stev's not this guy.
Stev is...
I think Stev could climb a mountain, but he won't.
He would go through the mountain.
He would go through the mountain, or he would find, I think maybe in his words, like a rad ride to just drive up.
These individuals, I'm friends with, but they're put off by me in my desire for modern amenities.
Yeah. There's a misconception about mountains that I want to talk about. It's just, this has been bothering me for years.
Mountains. JT.
People think that when you climb a mountain, you're literally like carabiners and like spotter, and like you're climbing with your hands and shit. When I was looking into Eritrea to go to Mount Kilimanjaro, and what they call a mountain climb is just a really like hard hike. It's a difficult hike.
I don't want to shit on your point.
The mountain climbing that we think of, like, the climbing the face of that exists. Obviously, there's places in Kilimanjaro to do that. There's places at Mount Everest. Obviously, Mount Everest is a different story, but it's just different.
Why are you looking at Eritrea to go to Kilimanjaro?
Eritrea, is it Kilimanjaro in? Maybe Ethiopia. No,
close.
Kenya. Well, Kenya's next to Ethiopia, right?
Kenya. It's right on the equator. There is snow on the equator. It's on Kilimanjaro.
Maybe the park is in Ethiopia. No, Eritrea maybe. Somewhere over
there. There is the Great Rift, or the East Rift Valley.
Maybe it's Rift.
World Heritage Site is in Ethiopia.
That might be it. So this package I was looking at is both Safari
you can get your elephant beer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going back to Mombasa because that place was fucked up.
You could see elephants and climb Kilimanjaro probably in the same day in Kenya.
Yeah, so that's what the package. The package is, it's not in the same day. Safari for half, and then Kilimanjaro for the other half. But you actually have to provide proof that you've trained for the mountain.
I thought Kilimanjaro was a hike. It's a hike.
It's a hike.
Yeah.
But it's not easy. They say it's difficult, and you have to.
I believe it.
There's waivers, and you have to prove that you've trained, which I guess is you walking on an inclined treadmill somewhere here in the flat Ohio Valley.
Yeah, I'd have a challenge with that.
Well, the safari part's cool. The Kilimanjaro part is obviously super cool. But we might have to choose between them. You can buy the package with one or the other, or both. We'll see. Anyway. So they call it in the package mountain climb. But it's not, you're not using like your hands, and you're not like, you don't have a belayer or all that stuff.
That's the thing, like you start getting into like East Africa, and especially like with beer drinking, it's a quality control situation. So if you ever go there, you can have...
It's a water situation, really.
You can have a beer that's like 2%, and you could drink another beer, the same kind of beer, and that one could be 9%.
It sure could.
Like, there's an area in the... Like, where there's no quality control, so it's not... And they don't brew on the scale that you need in the United States to satisfy all of us beer drinkers. There, it's a much smaller scale, but... Sorry, Stacey. It's almost like they don't stir in some of that stuff. So you read these articles where it's like, oh yeah, I had 15 of these beer, but the average ABV was 3. But then the next one I had was 15% and was the same. Kenya extra special.
And if you want to know whether you're gonna have a hangover, yes. Doesn't matter how many you drink, and it will be grain. Like, you know how tequila, you'll be like, oh, I can taste it. It's just grain.
Yeah.
Tastes like shit. Oddly enough, the beer that we had is called Tusker. They dress up their packaging here in the U.S.
Yeah, it's not what you get there.
It was cool. It looked cool. There, it was just cans of beer. That's it, beer. Yeah. But this is not from Africa. It just sparked a conversation about mountain climbing, because on the can art boner segment, brought to you by Still Chugga Mom.
Yeah, now that I say it to help you out, I think that is John Muir.
That's him.
I think. But anyways.
Might be. I think because we've talked, I feel like that name's come up before. And I feel like I've heard it in the way you say it.
Is this the way? Is this why you brought up mountain climbing because of the can?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't really because I sheathed it.
This is like ridge climbing. This is like there's a
cragging.
Cragging?
Yeah. It was a good movie. It just won the documentary.
The documentary where they are two guys that keep beating each other?
No, yeah, it's one guy and he climbed Half Dome, free climb, free whatever. It's an amazing documentary. Where free solo.
Free Solo?
Where he not Hope Solo.
That's a different one than I saw.
Free Solo.
But it still sounds awesome. The one I saw was like
where it's just a chalk bag.
Yeah, just a chalk bag.
Yeah.
The one I saw was there's a guy. It's on Netflix. There's a guy who's like his whole life is dedicated to this ridge climbing stuff. You know you're grabbing the crevices of the wall and freely with the chalk bag, and it only takes like an hour to get up. Well, it did after he broke the record. It took an hour. Well, then like some local kid that just was like he was just in shape, came and did it in like 31 minutes.
Yep, it's Free Solo.
Is that the same movie?
El Capitan, yeah. So it's a 900-meter vertical face.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. El Capitan. That was summer release a few years ago of the Apple operating system. I mean. Anyway, yeah. So they have that metal cup on the back of their belt there. I remember that from Boy Scouts, and it clings and clangs. And they have a lot of extra carabiners. I don't know. I used to know the configuration so that you could be the belayer.
Yeah.
So it was all
belay on.
You just do this, and then like the rope moves. Yeah, belay my last, whatever.
Yeah. If you just watch that minute marker, just 21:30. Just play that. I don't want to get DCMA'd. Play Mr. Roboto to JT's.
Oh yeah,
there.
do that.
Like,
yeah. So that's the spurt. They're wearing I'm gonna say it's a muscle shirt, but it could also be a tank top. Some khaki shorts, some good shoes. I'm guessing they're probably climbing shoes. Although these look more like some sort of dress shoes, flats, something like that. That's about it. Climbing up the ridge. This is rugged outlook. I don't know. It doesn't look rugged. Look comfy. This is where you'd carry the hammock. And somehow they'd get it like connected perfectly so that they could sleep. I don't know how the hell they sleep hanging there from those mountains.
So you anchor it 3 ways, and then you have 2 rods that push it out.
I'll anchor it 500 ways, and I'll still not sleep good that night. But this is that's the Can Bonus segment brought to you by Chugalo Mom. Wow, getting a lot of mileage out of that one. Right, this beer is a complex beer. I don't know that we really talk about the complexity of some of these beers very often, but just in the name, you're thinking, oh man, there's gonna be a lot going on here. But we've had that illusion before that there's double dry hop, honey, oat cream, triple IPA. We've had sours that had listed 7 fruits or whatever, and they all just tasted like watered down Kool-Aid. But this beer actually has a complexity to it that you get immediately. There's honey, but it's not a sweet honey. It's more of that rich, dark honey. Just a highlight. It's not like cereal or anything. It's like just straight up honey. The liquid kind.
Nailing it.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to. I don't know the differences in honey. I know there's a million different kinds, and people are really smart about that stuff. It's just not my area of expertise.
It's not a flowering honey. It's more like like that, like a blossom honey. I think is the sweeter
maybe
one.
Yeah, something like that. That's a good way to do it. Look at that. And then there's there's definitely an earthiness to this beer that it kind of it disguises itself as a bitter as a bitterness. I don't know if it's disguised. It really is bitter. And it might be the malts, but I also don't know that this combination of hops, Citra, Galaxy, Cashmere, Vic Secret, and Idaho 7, if that combination of hops is doing something special. Cashmere, I don't know that I've ever had cashmere before. But this beer, it has a complexity. I don't know. There's got to be something in here that's overcooked, like a porter would be. But it doesn't. It doesn't have a porter flavor. It just has this darkness to it. It's not as sweet as I would hope with the honey, but maybe it's honey oat. I don't know, honey oat cream, or is it honey oat cream? I don't know. Man, this beer is a hard one. This is a tough one. I'm glad I'm going first because I don't want to be influenced by the score. This beer is, for all it does and the taste that you do get, I think it's hitting the nail on the head. For its drinkability, repetitive drinkability, I don't know, longevity. I don't know if I'd have more than one or two of these. Probably just one. I'll move on to something else. Man, this score is hard because I feel like I'm doing it a disservice. I'm gonna give it a 4.0. 4.0. I was at 3.75, but I feel like that's too low for this beer.
So off the top rope, I think I have a correction, and this is, I had to go grab a receipt. So this is why I hate beer delivery services that make substitutions. It's very similar to like when you go to the grocery store and you're too lazy or financially savvy. You're either one or the other. And you want to use like those pickup or shopper services, and then they get to the car and they're like, hey, you have 7 substitutions. Do you want to deny them?
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, like I'm at the point, like, nah, just throw them in, and then you get home. It's not, there's other people that you see out there in the back of these shopping markets or these grocery stores, and they're like going through and they're like tossing stuff back in the, I just saw it because I picked up groceries. So I think this is from Chuggalo Mikey. This is not what he intended to have delivered because I was super disappointed.
Oh, it's Chuggalo Mikey's
So Chuggalo Mikey. So it was supposed to be Humble Forager mixing with Barrel Theory, which is probably my favorite Minnesota brewer. Yep. And it was supposed to be a sour, but this is delightful. Let's get back to what this beer after I'm being upset. So Chuggalo Mikey. So thank you for this. This was one of my birthday beers, and we're only 2 months almost to the day, so that's just the backlog. What I like about this beer is, one, it's definitely a WIPA, so anytime you say like Citra and Mosaic together, you're hardly ever going to see those, and it's very alpha acid assertive. I love that alliteration. That's 4 A's in 5 words. Off the top rope, I give this a 4.25. This one would be amazing to have all the time, but you're going to need something to like cleanse that palate because, again, you're bitter in the back, and it's nice dealing. We've had like a run of like sweet beers, and like poppers, and this is nice because it like draws back to like what beer is in the essence, and the fact that it's double dry hopped and super assertive, and that those bitter notes and again the alpha acids makes this beer super palatable. I was at a 4.0, but then I went to a 4.25. So off the top rope, 4.25. This is fantastic. It hides the booze really well at a 9%. I can't taste it. As far as the complexities there, I guess even though I'm doing a podcast, so I guess I'm doing a kind of disservice to it. I just enjoy the shit out of this. This is one like where I could just lean up to a bar like this and just like sit there and conversation creator, and it's probably very complex, the balancing, but it's just simple to sit there and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's enjoyable because it offers it gives you something to think about while you're drinking it. Now, I will say that I read the side of the can after the review, which I'm glad I did because the flavors that they point out, I don't get. So they talk about
you don't get the piney dankness because that's what I get.
Well, no, I get the dankness. That the piney dankness, yeah, I get that. The floral aromas, no. The creamy, maybe the creaminess, but they also talk about tropical tones, nope. Stone Fruit Waves. Nope. Man, no, I don't get that either. I just get that dankness. The IPA, it is juicy. Like, they do say that on there, juicy triple IPA. But it does have that whip of quality where it's dank. So it's like juicy dank. It's weird. It's kind of a weird beer. I like it.
I like it though. Like, and again, we've had, and I'm gonna break it here in a couple of minutes.
We're crossbreeding.
I like that. It's a complex beer, but it's not cherry lactose or whatever. Yeah. Like, kind of getting back to.
It's not like we found the darkest cherries by foraging through.
We soaked these cherries in THC.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, that's Sweetwater. That's what they did.
So, yeah, no, I dig that. So, Humble Forager, a happy accident. Even though I'm disappointed, I wanted the other one. A happy accident. So this is the beer.
On Mike.
So again, thank you.
Ooh, yeah, look at this.
So this.
Holy shit.
This is blowing up the internet. This is
really?
Froth.
I can't believe I'm getting something that's blowing up the internet.
Froth Brewing Company. So I'm just gonna be quick about it.
That's how you say it.
Froth.
Froth.
Yep. I received a text message from Pat, and Pat goes, "Hey, we've got this new sour in. I've got a ridiculously full fridge. I have no room. There's beers that aren't even in the fridge, but I like that he messages me. So this is the joke amongst friends. It's just feel ingratiated to Matt. Let him know that you have something. Step 3, profit, because that's like what it is. Like, and not only I can't just go buy one. So I bought 3 out of 4 of their offerings. So if it's good, I'm going to be elated because hopefully that quality carries through. And if it's bad, I'm just going to chuck them all, in the garbage. Probably not. I'll still
Don't do that.
I'll drink.
Please try at least
I'll drink
multiples.
terrible stuff. So this is Froth, brand new to the podcast. We haven't had a new one in maybe a week or so. So Froth is out of Buffalo, New York. I can't wait to. This is Liquid Lollipop. It's a triple fruited sour, coming in at 6.5%. Also, I forgot to say that the last beer was Rugged Outlook. I didn't say the name.
You did?
No, I didn't.
I did.
Okay, good. So out of Buffalo, New York, their website is the most disappointing website I've ever. There's nothing. It looks like they're just setting it up, but there's no about us or whatever. Their hours are very truncated. They're closed 3 days a week.
That was like the one we did last week.
Yeah, they're open from like noon to 6.
It was like we're open once a month.
Yeah, so it's not that bad.
And you have to guess which hours.
But there's nothing of note. The Born on Dating, so this was...
that's nice. I like that.
February 22.
Born on Date, and it's a sticker label.
And it looks like it was like the old dog tag machine where they're not justified would be the word. Flip and roll before drinking.
Yep.
That's what it says.
Flip and roll.
And then for info, I didn't write down the website. Just Google Froth, but there's not much for the website anyways, but I still want to give you the URL because you can go check out what like a unique, just Froth Brewing, FROTH brewing.com.
How do you know that that's how it's pronounced?
How else would it be pronounced?
Froth.
Let's go with Froth.
Froth. I like Froth. Froth, that's how froth is spelled. FROTH. But it doesn't mean that it's not Froth. I like Froth because it's like truth. And I like the truth.
I never thought.
In fact, I had a bunch of stuff I was going to say about truth, but then I changed my mind.
Yep.
Because it's controversial. Being truthful is controversial right now.
The address, by the way, is 700 Military Road, Buffalo.
Oh, man. That is the address.
It's just...
Confirmed.
Yeah. So...
and it's locked. It's already loaded, dude.
Oh, it's primed?
It's primed, yeah.
Oh, this is a good sign.
Good sign.
3, 2, 1. So... This beer is blowing up like all over. I thought I posted in Dayton Beer Geeks. I didn't realize until after I posted that I posted in Craft Beer Geeks. I go, this beer is blowing up around here. It's crazy. And the guy goes, I know, right? And then I scrolled up and it was Craft Beer Geeks. And I go, oh, we're going to do this beer on the podcast today.
Boom.
And I can't link our podcast. I can't do in that group. I don't know if it's because it's a business or what. But
no,
like I tried
because I do breweries all the time.
But I tried to do at the Brew Crew podcast to like.
Don't take out the I think.
So just at.
Oh, you know what? I think that the name. I don't know how to share the name for the Brew Crew podcast page. We didn't get a new page. We used the old page and changed the name. But so the might be
but like
might still be the URL for.
So that still pops up for
Butt
chug, but when I type in butt chug, the icon, our old icon.
Oh, our old icon.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
It's signed.
That's good feedback. I need to look at that.
So again, with the website review, and I was supposed to do that while we were actually drinking it because there's a lot to distill here, and I need to search for the words. So I'm buying JT some time. But with this, one, I'm elated that Pat told me to come pick this up. Mm-hmm. Two, we're getting done with work early on Friday, and I owe a couple of guys Taco Bell, and they're going to come over and play some board games just for a little bit. And so Pete went to Pat and goes, "Hey, I want to get something for Matt that's special." And so now Pat knows me as Matt.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to go in there. I've gone in there. I've gone in there with a bandana.
He's got a Deftones sweater. It's got patches on it, and he's got a bandana. He's like, "Who are you talking about?"
And so that Deftones sweater, that was one of my birthday gifts from my wife, is to get the zipper replaced in it.
Oh, very cool.
But she still hasn't got it. But I believe me, I
but
want to
it's
wear it.
part of it.
I want to wear that. So, anyways, it's a part of my garb.
It is.
So Pete goes, "I want something special that he hasn't had," and he goes, "Oh, this." And Pete goes, "Great, I'll take it." And he goes, "Matt just came in 2 days ago and picked it up."
Oh my God. Pat, come on, Pat, you don't get it.
And Pete goes, "Pat, I told you, like, don't."
I think Pat's fucking with us. Everyone who's not named Matt, he's fucking with us.
Again, he'll just text message me, and I go, "Pat, I really can't." And I send him a picture of my fridge, and he just
like,
laughs.
"Pat, look at my bank account. It's empty. I can't." And he's like, "I got this beer. You got to come get it."
So Froth, but probably Froth. I like Froth.
I like Froth.
Froth would be another O, right? Frooth. Froth. Yeah. Froth.
No, or you.
Dang it.
No, I like Froth. Let's call it Froth. I bet you they'll start calling themselves Froth. Froth Brewing.
Froth.
I like it.
Froth sounds fun and whimsical.
Froth sounds way better because of truth. I'm telling you, truth.
That brand association is what you're saying?
Truth Brewing. Like there's a Truth beer, Rengeist.
So good.
But not Truth Brewing, a whole company, based on truth. It's fruit. It's fruit. It's true fruit.
Oh, they
truth.
They specialize in sours, IPAs, and stouts, so everything that sells.
Okay, so they specialize in beer.
So yeah, and they want to move product, so they want to make a profit.
What kind of stuff though? I wonder, like fruity ones.
Froth. Cool. No, Froth makes sense because of fruited sour. Fruit. There we go.
It does sound,
I justified my
right.
chaos.
That sounds right. All right.
My notes for last week, by the way, because we did it digitally. So sad.
Aw.
Well, plus it was your week, so I didn't do any
Holy
research.
Shit. We're at 38. That can art, man. You gave this can to me, and the first thought I had was the cotton blanket thing in the Lorax. What is that called? Do you know what that is?
The cotton trees?
Well, the cotton trees, but the thing that he makes out of it, that the guy makes out of it.
Oh, I read the book. I don't know the TV.
The movie's really good.
Yeah, it's that what you speak of is not in the book.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
No.
Sorry. I'm thinking the places you'll go.
No.
Not the Lorax.
The Lorax.
We don't own the Lorax, I don't think.
Dr. Seuss, the Lorax, played by Danny DeVito, and the salesman guy who's played by Andy Bernard from The Office. It's so good. But this looks like one of those trees. Or the blanket. I'm not sure which one.
What the fuck? His actor's name, I know. Andy I mean, obviously, but...
It's yeah, I know it too, but I went with Eddie Bernard because I couldn't think of it. It's I don't remember.
Yeah. Is that something else you owe by the end of the
Yeah, I'll get it while you're reviewing the beer. This lollipop, so it triggers two memories. One is that the Lorax, and two is at Disney World, Orlando, not California. I'm sure they have them there. They have this giant fucking Disney World's Orlando, Disneyland's in California.
Yep.
They have these fucking huge popsicles, or not popsicles, suckers, lollipops.
Like comically large,
like
right?
comically large. Like you have to lick them, like a cartoon, because you can't like suck. It's not a sucker. You can't suck on it. You have to lick it. And this one's dripping color. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's just it's a spiral lollipop. It's dripping though, like as if it's melting. And there's a wooden stick, and it's just a white background. Very, very. It's just like the imagery that they want you to see is the lollipop, and that's it. And that's what they give you. They only give you that. And then they give you Froth. Froth Brewing. There's a lot of information on this can. But anyway, that's the can art bonus segment brought to you by Chuddle and Mikey. I do like the Born on date. That's cool. And the flip and roll. That's interesting. I've not seen that before. Now, did you ever go to amusement parks as a kid?
Yes.
Big name brand one.
Valley Fair, yes.
Valley Fair? I don't know what that is.
It's the largest non-affiliated one.
Non-affiliated. Okay.
I'm just making that up. It's a big one though.
Did you go to Six Flags or Disney?
I went to Six Flags senior year of high school with my girlfriend at the time. We drove down, and I remember it was a big deal because we could use credit card at that McDonald's in Gurnee.
Yeah. Oh, you drove down. That's so crazy because I always drove up.
Yep.
To Disney or to Six Flags. We had season passes, but I had to pay for those.
We had season
when I got a job.
Lifestyles.
But when we went to Disney, I remember the strip. I mean, the stuff in Disney. And I'm not gonna say no offense to Disney, like total offense to Disney. Like that shit is way too expensive for what it is. Lollipops, brownies, cookies, and shit. It's all on that like main strip when you get into Magic Kingdom. We never had that stuff as kids. I don't even think we went into the stores. When we took our kids, I was like, I'm gonna buy my kids some fucking overpriced shit from these stores, and largely it wasn't worth. Like sometimes when you find out you've overpaid for a giant cookie, but then you eat it and you're like, well, I'm fine with this. Not in this case. Like if you pay for a killer brownie at Dorothy Lane, which I totally forgot I was gonna bring some killer brownies. You won't eat them anyway. You're like a healthy person.
Please.
But I'm gonna get you one.
Chunkosaurus Rex over here.
When you buy a killer brownie, you're like, damn, that was like really expensive, $7.99. Now with inflation, it's probably $9.99. But when you eat it, you're like, holy shit, that's where I can taste all of those dollars. They're there. That's what this lollipop reminds me of. Overpriced candy at Disney World. Anyway.
Sorry,
that's the can I bonus segment brought to you by Chuddle and Mikey. Thanks, Mikey. Man, this beer's good as fuck.
That's the soundbite for this episode. If you could just have a 4-second intro, I haven't figured out how to time what the intro snapshot's gonna be. Man, this beer's good as fuck.
Yeah, that'd be especially when you have the TVs that autoplay the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. It's got everything it says it has in it. You can taste cinnamon crumble. It's when they go with crumble as the final word on the flavor profile. You're like, yeah, right. Not in this case.
Doesn't crumble. It elicits bursts of flavor.
Yeah, like crunchy granola, but with granola that's packed with sugar vanilla.
Yeah, or sugar vinegar. Which
you don't want that
really,
sugar vinegar.
That'd be a crazy taste.
You don't want that. Graham, marshmallow, graham, cinnamon crumble. the marshmallow really is it's like in a Rice Krispie treat. It's what binds this beer together. There's all these flavors. And in the middle of all those flavors is marshmallow. It's really unfortunate for all these other brewers that we're so high on sours, because this beer is like, it's so good compared to a lot of the sours we have, but it's also just going to dominate in non-sour category. We're just into it. That's just what we like. The flavors they tell you: blackberry, raspberry, marshmallow, graham, and cinnamon crumble. They're all there. That is an achievement, because we are often, just like with the last beer, we're often.
If we were so good with we would put achievement at the bottom, like when you get the Xbox or the PlayStation.
Oh yeah,
achievement
I'll do that. Okay, I'll do it. Just I'll have to post the video as a draft.
Yeah,
I can put that in there. Man, this beer's good as fuck. I can't imagine what else they're brewing. If there was anything I'd add to this, is there anything I'd add to this? Like, my first instinct was maybe a tiny bit of carbonation. But I actually think that would hurt this beer. That would hurt the marshmallow.
Yeah.
Is what that would hurt. Oh, man. Can I grab a taster and just pour it in there? I want to see how thick it is.
Yeah, sure. Just right behind you there on the side.
All right.
Throw some grenadine in there. Yeah, just right there.
No. I'm not going to throw grenadine in there.
It's a light pink, right?
Oh, yeah, look at that. I mean, that's like, that's just like cream. Man, this is good. I don't know. I don't think I can provide any additional feedback for this beer. You did it. I love it. It's a 5. I would drink this. I would drink, if it wasn't, it's probably 1,000 calories, but I would drink all 4 of them. Is it a 4-pack or a 2-pack?
4-pack.
Oh, good.
And all of them were the same price.
Man,
so it's not good. Like all over the place, like $4.50. And $4.50 are getting quality, but there's some there's wide variance, and this is the first Froth beer I've had. There's some wide variances with the $4.50. And their marshmallow beer, their marshmallow is it's inferior to this beer.
It's inferior to this beer, and it fills you up. I could drink at least 2 of these in one sitting, but with that, you can't. No way.
Bums me out. Like, I had this whole diatribe, and you're like, it's probably 1,000 calories. I go, damn it. It probably
no. Oh, just ignore it. It's 10 calories per can.
It's 10 calories. So, off the top rope, this beer is perfect. It's got all the sweetness and like that without leaving that stupid film on your teeth, which you can be like sour and sugary, but if you leave that Pepsi taste or Pepsi film on my teeth, it's going to turn me off. This doesn't. It leaves your palate with the flavor and the palate memory of it, but it doesn't leave it with like all of the lingering sugar, that like the crystallization that's there.
Yeah.
God, I have so many thoughts, and
let's talk about them.
I'm so glad that I got texted on this beer. This beer is worth every penny. So all 4 packs for this came in at $26 a piece. I have 2 more 4-packs. I might have to. I would say I have a plan, but now like this Humble Forager has been in since, but the Froth bumped a bunch of other beers, so I might have to bump a couple extra beers and still keep things organized. The Lollipop, it doesn't do anything for me because I'm not a big Lollipop fan. You could have just put like this beer is good on the outside. It's the artwork is whimsical. I love that it is whimsical. I love that it's melting. All right. The triple fruited, like all three fruits you can taste. And the fact that it's only 6.5, and again, I'm not, like with a sour, I'm not burpy, gassy or anything, like it's fantastic. It's, I can't imagine, I can't do anything to this beer that would make it better, everything here is fantastic. I'm going to buy up everything I see from these guys. I don't know if this is like their pinnacle beer, but if it is, at the price point, so $26 for a 4-pack, Math in Public, that's $6.50 a beer. If this is your jam, you would be elated to pay for this and get a 16-ounce pour. The one thing, and bring it back to the community. There's other people. So when I say that this is blowing up, there's people that were elated to have this beer, and then there's other people are like, oh, you like fruit juice, like that are hating on people for liking sours.
Oh, well.
And the amount of angst and like we're not gonna like. I understand like InBev or something like that in a craft beer group or whatever because it's against, but like just like what you like. Why are we?
Like what you like.
Why are we defending our? If you're doing an ingest or whatever, and it's hard to interpret tone and everything like that on Facebook, because that's where these groups are that I follow because that's the only social media I'm really on. They shut down my MySpace account. Bye, Tom. That's why I haven't responded. But Stev. So Tom was everyone's.
Tom was everyone's.
Yeah, he's not gonna know what Stev doesn't know what MySpace is. There's no way.
He might have heard of it.
He's heard of it.
He's watched VH1. I love the 2000s.
Pop-up video, Steph, by the way. Watch it with the missus and let the magic happen. Mm-hmm. But like what you like, and this is a much bigger, and this is something I wrote down. This is the anti-fruit and sour people because they're like, oh, that's not beer or whatever like that.
All right.
Like a wider swath of things. Like if you just need to always have black olives on your pizza, I would say that you're wrong, but that's you do you.
You do you.
The only thing you're going to be wrong is you're the same person. Like maybe you like stouts and you like exclusively stouts. I bet you like cheese. I bet you like ketchup on your burger. You animal, or you put ketchup on your steak. We all have our things.
Shit. I don't even do that. I like ketchup, but I don't put it on my steak.
We all have our things. Don't be hating on people because
don't hate on people.
That's fine. If you're gonna get defensive,
people do get defensive.
There's reasons to get prickly and shit like that. There's brewers out there that have fallen out of favor, for social decisions that they've made or whatever. But sours, man, they're fucking on fire, And this should be the top of the GD mountain, if you will. I dig
the top.
Yep.
I bet you. I'm willing to bet that one of the beers you haven't had yet is better. We'll improve on this. This beer it was uniquely good.
I have no suggestions. It's just I bought it because my trusty Pat told me to come buy it, and then it's blown up like the last.
I wish I had a trusty Pat.
He text messaged me, and again, like the joke was made, feel endeared to Matt. I'll pay you money, and then just tell him when you get stuff in because I will stop immediately. If
you're at Arrow Wine and Spirits or Crispy Crunchy Shell, and you're thinking I could be your Pat, you had your chance.
Yeah.
I gave you the chance, but you guys acted all superior, and it didn't work out.
Yeah. Pat messages me, hey Matt, we got this, sends me a picture.
Ed Helms,
there we go.
And Chris DiStefano. You know that guy?
Yes.
His 9/11 story was very funny.
He's a good comedian.
So you reminded me of something.
Yeah.
Now that we're past the beer.
It's a shame.
All right.
Should come. I would drink a crowler.
You're gonna go to a. I'm not asking for a specific order, but you're going to a sports bar.
Yeah.
There's levels of sports bar. There's the Wrigleyville sports bar. There's the blue collar sports bar. There's the sports bar that's in like the shit neighborhood that's just got. It doesn't even have a name. It just has this beer sign outside. It hangs. At least in Wisconsin and Illinois, I think they have that. I know in Illinois. Okay. What are you ordering from the blue collar version of these sports bars? So it's not the place where you get like Buffalo Wild Wings, like 100 flat screen TVs. It's just there's a couple TVs, maybe 2 TVs, and just a lot of locals who are return customers, repeat customers. It's not like
what am I ordering to drink?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it doesn't have to be specific. It's what type of drink.
Oh, so I'm definitely getting a beer.
You're getting a beer.
Yeah.
All right. That's all. That's really the question. And Randy Orton doesn't know that I was going to bring this up, but he went to Submarine House. There's a Submarine House on Dorothy Lane now.
Yeah.
And
it's a newer one?
Yeah, brand new. And they have a patio and everything, and it looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. People are always out there.
Kids eat free.
Kids eat free at Submarine House?
12 and under.
Oh.
It's
well, I have a 12-year-old, so
yeah,
that'll work.
Kids eat free though. It's a good gimmick.
He looks like he's 14 though.
Hey, Dad.
He ordered a old fashioned, and there was nothing wrong with that. He didn't like it, but I felt like that's not the drink you order at Submarine House. You order a beer.
You're set up for disappointment when you go to that place because you're not gonna get. And this is a guy that Randy Orton knowingly loves Luxardo cherries.
Yeah, Randy Orton. He likes Luxardo cherries, and like I think old fashioned might be one of his like staple drinks. So you have to know when to order it.
I feel like, oh, this is tough. Has he forgotten? Maybe this is gonna be too heavy-handed. Has he forgotten his roots? He didn't come from
That's a good question. Has Randy Orton forgotten his roots?
The finer things in life. You know what I'm saying? Like he's earned where he's at. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna offer this invite. I don't know if you're willing to allow it.
Yeah.
That Randy Orton can voice his opposition to my answer.
Yeah.
On the podcast.
Please come.
You can come and voice your opposition.
I
feel like yes.
You feel
not in all regards. Like I think he definitely has a good handle on his roots from like a spending perspective.
Yeah.
From like he recognizes where he came from. But when it comes to drinking alcohol...
So you're saying he's a cheap...
He has definitely forgotten his roots.
Okay.
Like 100% he has forgotten his roots.
Like...
But I'm willing to accept other answers.
I need... And this is something where I talk about like John Muir fans wouldn't hang out with me, but I would like to hang out.
John Muir fans, yeah.
I'd love to hang out with them.
The Fish crowd.
Yeah, like jam band. But I listen to like modern jam bands. But anyways, back to like... If you can't go somewhere and there's a Facebook group and personality like Charlie Barron's or whatever, it's Wisconsin dive bars. And this guy goes to some like really like the church room bar type size, very, very small compared to a bar places. If you can't go somewhere and feel comfortable ordering a High Life or a Busch Light or a PBR or just whatever swill they have on tap. Like if you were like, I have to have a craft beer, and we're a craft beer podcast, but I know like I could go to Anywheresville, Chicago with this guy, and we could order an old style and enjoy it.
It'd be fine, yeah.
Because it's a part of the atmosphere too. Like if the table's a little awkwardly sticky, like just because that's where all of this came from.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think that this was the case until he said Submarine House he ordered an old fashioned. Because we'd been places like that.
Yeah.
That you're talking about. Like on the night the NBA shut down, we went to a bar and just had regular beer.
Yeah.
We were at this dive bar. But that just changed my perspective.
Yeah, I've been to a bunch of dive bars in North Dayton, two of which are no longer open, one of which there was multiple guns up on the bar when we walked in, and it was lit by a single strand light bulb.
That was the lighting of the whole place.
There was a couple of those, but it's like a bare cable. Jeez. It's almost like knobbing.
Where was this at?
Congress Lanes. I'll outshout them.
Congress Lanes.
And it's a bowling alley.
But interesting that you say that because go ahead.
You can see that there's a bowling alley, but it's not lit up. Mm-hmm. And to keep their tax status as a bowling alley, this was a couple of years ago during Great Friday. The tax man comes, he can play one game of bowling or, roll, and then they keep their status, and then they shut down the lanes.
My brother-in-law and I found a bar just like that.
Yeah.
Total dive. No one was using the bowling alley, but we went for bowling.
Yeah.
And they turned on the lanes for us. This bowling alley was, this was what's that movie? There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
This was the bowling alley from There Will Be Blood. Your ball, you watch it come down back to you. It had a bunch of like shit on it, the oil or just chunks of something. Grease. It was just, it ruined my ball for a while. And it was the most fun bowling I've ever had.
And because you have a story with it, something that resonates, something that you could, link to that. And that's, going with these dive places. Mm-hmm. there's a story, there's a heritage, there's a reason. Because people don't need to go to like all these stainless steel, open, ductwork type stuff.
You don't need garage doors.
Go to somewhere with a story. I know John Taffer, hates dollar bills that are nailed to the wall or whatever.
Yeah.
But if that's kind of overdone. But if that's your fucking gimmick and there's history on the wall or
John Taffer's been wrong. Like there was one in particular where he went to Vegas, and there was a bar that was like dive.
Yeah.
And that was their thing.
Yeah.
Now they were dirty. That was why they failed.
Yeah.
But he was like putting TVs and like making it a Raiders theme thing. And it was like, whoa, dude, you changed this bar completely. That's not what this is. But at this place that my brother-in-law and I went, like you could tell that there were stories. Like you said, there's stories to everything. Like the buckets, you order a bucket of Bud. It's 5 beers.
Yep.
The fucking buckets were rusted at the bottom. Someone had this idea a long time ago, but no one comes and orders a bucket.
Right.
Except for Bobby.
I like there's
buckets.
a couple bars in the area that still do buckets. I like ordering my beer by the bucket.
Oh, hell yeah. Don't eat the ice.
Yeah, no, they don't burn their ice. But there's more. We should do a cheap beer or whatever. But Wisconsin dive bars for the Wisconsin. It's a great follow. The guy posts multiple videos of going to these bars. And again, nothing's chain. Nothing's on the up and up.
No.
But with that, I have one request. I want to get back to playing some games.
All right.
It's tough when it's 2 of us.
It is tough.
So I want somebody below to send us an email, because you have our personal, give us 5 beers that we have to guess the score, the average score on Untapped, because we do a lot of stuff on Untapped.
Yeah, we do. That's
So-
a good.
And if you
Good
email
idea.
it to either one of us, just 5 beers that you've had, we'll just go off the name.
So we're guessing their score or the average score?
We're gonna guess the average score, the community
Right,
score.
The community score.
So that's one. Send it to us if you send it Sunday night or whatever, and just say beer scores. Don't look till we get to the pod, and then we'll figure it out from there. That's because I want to get back to it, and I know there's a lot of meeting in the middle with these beer scores or whatever. But we'll go to the nearest 100th. We won't go to the nearest 10th. We'll make it
100th.
We'll make it fun.
I like it.
But anyways, that's my request. Send us by next week. Just put in the email or email or text message like, hey, just don't look at this. These are 5 beers I want you to look at.
I like it.
And
we should play games again.
Put the
it is hard with 2 people.
Yeah, because one of us has to look at it or whatever. So, but let's tap the community. Let's make you, JT Point. You're the Pat Sajak. You're the Alex Trebek, but you're alive. You're above ground.
I'm gonna knife hand it.
Knife hand.
Please, send us your beer.
And just send us your
Send
beer.
us your beer. New game. Send your beer.
Send your beer here. We will drink your beer.
So that's it. I think that's it, really.
It's a meaty episode.
You got to check out the corned beef and Goliath pints in Hamilton. And
Froth.
try Froth. You can also try foraging Humble Forager.
Yeah, both of them.
Foraging Humble Forager.
John Muir.
But I personally would recommend that you have 5 before the 4. I think it was great. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the podcast. Thanks for joining us, episode 185 next week. Hey, guess what? If you can guess what episode number will be next week, you'll be smart. Bye-bye.